Oh, morning, Pete Turner here from Turnaround Limited. We're a Sheffield property developer, and in this video I want to talk to you about why I had to go through 3 lenders and 3 different surveys in order to get my refinance on my Rotherham HMO. So I'll talk you through from the beginning because it's an interesting story. So I bought the house in August 21 for 57,500. It's a big two bed terrace in Rotherham near town centre. Rotherham doesn't have any Article 4 at present. It has selective licensing at the moment. So the idea was to convert a 2-bedroom terrace house into a 4-bedroom HMO multi-let. Now, one thing you should know is that 4-bedroom multi-lets don't need a mandatory HMO license. It starts with 5 people. Well, technically you could need a HMO license if you're renting it to couples, but it's done on a per head basis. So if you have 4 people staying there, 4 single people, then you don't need a HMO license. Any more than 4 people, you need one. So I spoke to the council, lovely lady called Caroline there at Rotherham Council, saying that we didn't need a mandatory HMO licence. It wasn't in the selective licence area, and so long as all the 4 bedrooms were 10.23 in area each, I could let it out to 4 people. So yeah, we bought it August 21. We pretty much finished the renovations within 4 months. So by November, the house was ready for tenancy. We did full refurb, so we pretty much plastered up most bedrooms, put in new electric sockets. But I've put a new roof on. It's actually going on this weekend because the old roof was pretty rubbish. Another story there about rogue tradesmen that I'm going to tell you. And it was complete by Christmas of 21. So I started the refinance process in January, February time with Steve Grant, who's my favourite broker. Big up to Steve Grant. Bush. So Steve doesn't charge for the refinance process. So we started the refinance with a company called Precise. I had a few estate agents round to the house at the time to value it, and they all valued it between 110 and 120,000, which was above the ceiling price for the street, to be honest. But this was a 4-bedroom house now, fully renovated, brand new kitchen, brand new bathroom, and so we'd put a lot of value onto the house. So they valued it 110 to 120. So we started the refinance process with Precise Mortgages, and we put in a value of 120, HMO mortgage, minimum value for the mortgage is 100,000, and it's like 270 a month on 120,000. So did all the paperwork, looked great. I've used Precise before. Surveyor came round. I did a survey pack for the house, and thought everything was going to be fine. Nice surveyor, got on well with him. And then when the survey came back, it come back at 90,000. And the main reason the surveyor said it downvalued the house was because he didn't believe that room 2 was able to be let as a double room or as any room and needed to be used for communal space. So this put the cat amongst the pigeons a bit with me, because I thought we were onto a good thing with the refinance, and I thought it would go through fine. So I recontacted the council, confirmed the room area, confirmed it was no mandatory license, confirmed that there was no other license, selective license area. And I went back to the surveyor to say, this is the evidence that you need to say that room 2 is lettable and to revalue the house. That process took me about a fortnight to do, so we're in end of Jan at this point. So went back to the surveyor, the surveyor said, thanks for the new evidence, but I'm not changing my valuation, which was a bit of a headplant moment, because he'd said it was because room 2 couldn't be let, it was downvalued, and now we were given evidence that it could be revalued, and he didn't want to budge. Surveyors are one of the most stubborn people I've ever met most of the time, unfortunately, and when they plant their eels in, it's very difficult to change anything. Anyway, so we had to move on from that because he wouldn't change. I sent a complaint letter into Connells to say this was the evidence, that was why you should have changed it. And later on they came back to say this mortgage has been cancelled, which it had done, so we can't do anything about the revalue. But I suspect once they'd looked at it, they would have increased the value from the higher ups at Connells because of the new evidence. But that's just one of them things. You win some and you lose some. So when the going gets tough, I'll get it right in a minute. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. So okay, survey lender number 2. Okay, so we go back to Steve. He kindly, for some reason, didn't charge me for any survey fees or anything. This is one thing that I love about Steve Grant. He's just the most easiest person to deal with, and he'll really look after you. So, you know, if anybody's looking for a broker, then Steve's your man. Mortgage number 2, we go back to Paragon. So new lender Paragon. No problem, this one looks good. Minimum value's 90,000, I think. Not a problem, should do that. I did that in the last one. I put all the evidence together in the pack for the Rotherham stuff to make sure everyone knew it didn't need a HMO licence. It wasn't in selective area. The areas for the rooms had been agreed by the council. So all that things looks really good. Surveyor comes, he's not a nice one. Not a nice surveyor at all. He's a bit horrible about the area. He doesn't like the house very much. So wasn't expecting a good result, and it came back at 75,000. Another kind of why type moment. So okay, 75 grand, weren't able to get that mortgage. Minimum's 90,000. So weren't able to go ahead with that one either. So Steve and I had a bit of a chat about it. We decided to go for a longer fixed term with the mortgage, to go with one of the companies that know more about refurb. So third mortgage, again, didn't get charged at all from Steve for the survey or anything, so, you know, incredible. And then went for a new mortgage on a 5-year fixed with Shawbrook Bank. Now, sorry about that, the phone went. My skip company's trying to get the skip in at this house in Barnsley, and they can't get it in because of the cars there. We'd put like a car length gap, but I think he needs to be able to get behind as well. So Dorian's going to nip up there and sort them out. He'd be a property developer, eh? Anyway, so third mortgage. As I said, we wanted to go with a specialist this time. 5-year mortgage. It's more than I wanted to pay. It's over 4%, but it's my only alternative. So when you've got Hobson's choice, you've just got to roll with it, haven't you? So in essence, we're having to go with this one. So went for it again. Put some more details in the pack. We decided that because the surveys had noted the roof each time, we're going to have to bite the bullet and get the roof done. So in essence, what we did was I contracted one of Danny's friends, who's a roofer called Ian, to quote me up on the new roof, and it's going in this weekend. So they're putting the roof on. They've stripped the roof off on Friday, apparently. Yesterday. What day is yesterday? Wednesday. And then they're going to do the roof on Monday. So it should be finished by the end of next week. So in essence, I had to bite the bullet with that. It's another 6 grand. So the refurb cost now total is about 25,000 for our Rotherham house. We paid 57 for it. So we're getting up there. So probably 25 on top of 57 is 82. I've got lending through my pension on it at 47, and we found the extra 15 for the refurb and stamp duty to get the house over the line. And Lauren and Josh JV'd in for the refurb as well, so thank you to those guys, spot on. So in the end, we've got 57,500 and about 25 grand. So what we're talking, quick maths in my head, it's about 83,000 in it. Revalue, surveyor came round, showed him the pack again, showed him the roof quote. He had a grumble about Rotherham, didn't think it was a good area for HMO, so I'm thinking, flipping it, we're going to have another down value here. He's saying, how much is the house, how much is the refurb, classic kind of, I'm going to add them together and give you a rubbish survey result. Anyway, so took him about a week to sort it out, which is longer than most, and came back at 100,000. Whoop, 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 whoop. So we're able to go ahead with that mortgage. We'll get 100 grand minus 47. Well, call it 50 grand. 75 grand is the mortgage. 50k is our costs. 25 grand back in the bank account. Pension gets repaid, ready for another house. So our alternative was to not go for the lending and have to find 10 grand to pay back year one on the pension back to the pension fund. So it was either going to be 10 grand in the hole or 25 grand back in the bank account and on to the next one. So got the offer letter through, needs to be witnessed and everything, so I'm going to sort that out this weekend, and then we should see the money back in our account within the next 2 to 4 weeks. So that's another 25 grand coming back in, which is great. So I've got that one. I've got my Dodworth Road. I've already sold that house for 185,000. My cost plus refurb, so I get 50% on any amount over 130,000. So our refurb costs are about 15. We're on 130, anything over. So that gives me a total of 145,000, and then 185,000 minus 145,000 gives us a total of 20 grand, plus our refurb cost back 7.5. So that gives me another 27.5 back in the bank account. So over the next 4 to 8 weeks, those two are going back in. Okay, so third thing, when I was going full time, one of my friends, Tiago, said, why don't you look at refinancing your house before you go full time, because it's going to cause you a problem after, which is probably true. So Steve's also doing the refinance on our house in Sheffield. So we've recently done the wren kitchen, we've recently done the conservatory, we've recently done the flooring. So Steve thinks it's worth 240,000. So we've gone with a mortgage broker called lender called Accord. It's on 3 point something on a fixed term for 2 years. The surveyor came around yesterday, lovely fella. So I'm hoping we're going to get what we wanted, so 240. If that happens, then it's on 85%, and we should see 40 plus back in the bank account. So I'm hoping over the next 8 to 12 weeks we get 25 from Fitzwilliam, we get 27.5 from Dodworth Road, and we get 40 grand plus from home. And then at that point we're ready to go again for the next house. So that is why I had to have 3 lenders, 3 surveys, and ended up with a great result on Rotherham. Here is the lesson. Do not quit. Do not quit. If I can say it again as per my channel, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. If I had quit, I'd have been 10 grand down, no refinance on Rotherham, and in a rubbish place. Just have to keep going, guys. Just do not quit. Just keep going and keep going and keep going. If they put walls in, break them down. Let's get going. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Please smash the like button if you found this helpful or amusing or anything. Please subscribe to the channel, there's lots of this content ahead, and it's probably time that you turn around your property future, and I'll catch you up on the next one. Bye for now.